Hi, I'm Shamira and Ibrahim. I run Unveil Your Beauty in the Blue Mountains. It's a short course that helps women and girls of every shape, size and age fall in love with their body, feel beautiful, feel their feminine essence flowing through them, and reframe beauty for themselves on a personal level. We need to reframe beauty from being a physical, skin-deep state only to what it really is. It's an energy, it's a positivity, it's life force beaming through us out into the spaces that we find ourselves in our homes, in our work, in our communities. When a woman who has claimed her real beauty and owns herself walks into a room, you feel it. It's an energy that sort of beams out of her, and you know, she's always positive. She's never taking anything away from anyone. She doesn't need to do that. She's self-possessed. She owns her own power. She knows who she is. She's joyful from the inside. She's not putting it on. It's not a fake smile, you know, that we put on in society to pretend everything's okay. It's real. It beams from inside of her out. And that's an energy, and it needs cultivating, and it needs building up. And it's a relationship to herself and her body that she's cultivated as well, and that's possible too, and that's what Unveil Your Beauty does. I grew up in the Middle East in the 70s. Back then, and in that part of the world, females were deemed attractive if they were plump, and even what might be deemed overweight here in the West in our modern times. The message came clear and continuous, just as it does here in the West for our girls right now. That to be attractive, you needed to have weight on you, and you need to be round and full. I was a very skinny girl back then, and still am a thin woman now, and it's just my body type. It's the way it is. And you know, I grew up with the messages that that was unattractive, undesirable, and not beautiful and ugly, and I even heard the word disgusting. Well-meaning family members would try to get me to eat more, you know, they'd keep telling me, eat more, which is exactly the opposite of what our young ladies get here in the West. Here it's more like, well, honey, I think you should, you know, lay off that cake. It's the opposite sort of message, but it's the same message in a way. I grew up with female family members taking fattening injections, getting the script from the doctor, believe it or not, to fatten themselves up before their weddings. Yeah. And they ended up being steroids, and those family members ended up wreaking havoc with their hormonal system, and for years and years to come, decades actually. And so it's a really serious thing, this paradigm we grow up in, how it affects us, and how it sort of seeps in quite under the radar when you're really young, and starts forming your beauty myth, your what I call your beauty illusion. So when I arrived in Australia to live permanently when I was 19, you can imagine the shock I experienced when I landed here feeling ugly and disgusting, and realizing that here the script had been flipped. Skinny is beautiful. That's what the media was saying. That's what everybody, you know, would say on a daily basis. Everyone's trying to lose weight, you know. So it was a really interesting moment that when I actually kind of started understanding that, well, it's all an illusion. And what didn't happen straight away, obviously, and this is the reason I'm telling this story, is to hopefully share with you how ingrained those early messages, direct and indirect, from all around you are. And so it was somewhere in my early 20s. I was walking through one of our superstores. There was David Jones, and I was in the lingerie department. And I remember actually, as I was walking past, there were 3 mannequins with underwear on them, and I actually had to force myself to stop and look at them, because there was a moment that happened, and it was like, well, if you're ugly, it's me talking to myself. if you're really ugly, undesirable, and your body's disgusting, how come the mannequin is your size and shape? And it was this kind of profound aha moment where the beauty illusion, the beauty myth that had been accumulated over childhood and the teen years, there was like a crack in it, and I saw through the crack. It wasn't an instant change, and this is probably the most important part as well, one of the more important parts of the story. Overnight, I didn't start feeling beautiful. The mind-body emotional connection that we all have, thought becomes an emotion. Emotion reflects through the body as a feeling, makes it feel real. So I'm ugly, I'm undesirable, thought with words attached to it, into a feeling of downheartedness and shame, into the visceral feelings of those emotions, which is just feeling pretty sort of shy and not wanting to show yourself, and sort of playing small and needing to cocoon, and viscerally that kind of feels kind of clammed in and sort of in your shell like that, and so there's a thought connecting to creating an emotion creating a feeling through the body. So that's how it works, and so we believe the illusion. And in the West, women and girls of all ages get to feel the toxicity of the beauty illusion we have here. And if we don't tackle it head on and do something about it, it just keeps going on like a record, which is not helpful at all in life. So this paradigm and illusion that gets created, and we live inside of it, is serious stuff. It affects us on a daily basis. The thoughts and feelings and beliefs around it that keep it sort of locked into place were created a long time ago, childhood, youth, adolescence. So it can have very serious effects on our lives. On the sort of lower end of the scale, it can just manifest as a sort of a daily displeasure with self. It just can be like a light on, just not happy with your body and the way you look. And every time you look in the mirror, it's like, just don't like what you see, and that's enough already to sort of kill that joy and effervescence and positivity we were talking about in the beginning. So that's the sort of the lower end of the scale. At the pointy end is where it can get really dangerous. So a long-term low self-esteem and low self-worth, low self-confidence that this type of messaging creates can actually turn into an anxiety, and it can be, create emotional and mental health issues and behavioral issues as well, like it could create eating disorders of some type, but it can also on a more subtle level just simply have the woman feeling so bad about herself that the type of, let's say, partner she attracts is it's going to be kind of on that level vibrationally, and that can make that woman very vulnerable to psychological manipulation and abuse from the wrong type of person, because she's basically sort of accepting, anyone who gives her attention, and she's looking for love in all the wrong places, and just, having intimate relationships or close friendships with people who are just not, they're going to kind of match that low self-esteem. So it can get to really, really serious territory, especially if the woman marries into that and, has a psychologically and emotionally sort of abusive partner. That's at the pointy end of the scale of how this can play out, and that is devastating. That takes years to understand what you're in and come out of it and clean up that whole aspect of your life, and it can be terrifying. People like that can tend to be violent psychologically, emotionally, and sometimes physically. So, feeling bad about self can't end well. Something is going to manifest from that. So it can be that daily sort of displeasure, plodding along, just not really happy, or that's at the pointy end, those things can take place. So this is a really serious subject. It goes beyond, well, I feel beautiful or I don't feel beautiful, and it's all very superficial and I'm not going to care about that. But really, what is going on inside? What are the records here, and how is it affecting daily self-esteem and as a result, energy levels and vibration of how you live on a daily basis? On a professional level, this can unfold in really serious ways as well, where the background noise of the illusion basically just makes the woman rather unconsciously play small in her work in the world. So in her creative endeavors or her soul expressive business, especially when the self-employment is her soul out in the world, is that most important thing she feels she's here to do, her message, her passion in the world. If she has wanted to create a business around that, often we'll see that the woman is struggling in her business, so she just can't put herself out there. The signs of it tend to be she just doesn't quite know how to do marketing, or doesn't kind of feel comfortable getting out there and putting her message out there. So even her website, usually there's just a little picture of her with just a little blurb about her. She's not kind of beaming her message out to the world. This is what I do. This is what the benefits are. This is how good it is for people, so she gets clients. So often there'll be a lack of income coming in, and a lack of clients, and just the pain that that is associated with trying to put your art out there, trying to put your soul out there, being a healer, a coach, a trainer, a teacher, someone who's just got this really giving, beautiful heart, and just not, getting out there in the world. So the woman knows in her heart she's playing small, but she just may be unconscious as to what the reasons are. And the reason is that there's this illusion that was stitched into her psyche from a young age as to what the standard of what's someone who is accepted and appreciated and seen as attractive and magnetic and someone people might want to hear from, that she's just not that. So the sort of unconscious way of protecting oneself is to hide and play small. This is very serious for the woman's ongoing sense of joy and fulfillment in life, because when we're responding to this feeling of a need to hide and play small, if we're sort of pre-putting our heart and soul expression out, and we haven't quite done that, we get this sort of ongoing feeling of an ache inside, like a craving. I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant to write that book or do that art or study that modality or whatever it is that is an expression of your beautiful heart and soul in the world, why you've come here, what to do, your real offering to the world. So we don't even start, and that causes that ache and sort of constant craving, which is just not very nice to live with at all. And if we do start and we go, okay, I'm crossing the line, and you start your business and you put it out there, and then the hiding and the playing small basically creates that sort of paradigm where we're just it's not catching, and we're not reaching self-sustainability through it. So either way, that actually can actually cause serious depression. So when we do put our soul out there and it's not catching, it's not turning into a viable business, that can actually create depression. So it can have serious ramifications on an ongoing basis for the woman's mental and emotional health and just sense of joy and fulfillment in life. So that moment I had in front of the mannequins, where I had a mental opening up and seeing the truth, didn't shift things immediately. So how do we permanently shift something that has become an ingrained belief system? It is possible, but it takes work, and it takes doing it in the body. And this is where Unveil Your Beauty comes in. So starting on a mental level is great. It's a great entry point. Okay, it's a beauty myth. My beauty is energetic. It's something else, and we start that process, but we can't just immediately start thinking we're beautiful. We can't just think it's an illusion. We have to feel it's an illusion. And we have to start feeling love for our body and our physical vessel that houses our beautiful feminine spirit. We have to start feeling an honor for it and its value, its inherent intrinsic value and worth, and not have that worth be something other people give to us or don't give to us because of a certain look or a certain age or it starts really creating a difference in our lives when we feel it from the inside, and then it beams from the inside out. And that's when that energy, when a woman steps into a room and you feel that energy, that's what's going on. She's done that work. She's made those connections. And so we have to do it in the body as well as the mind, and in the heart and the emotional space and in our energy. So we got to do it all around. So Unveil Your Beauty does this layer by layer, unveils your true beauty to yourself on the physical. And the alchemical tool that I have found did it for me in my life and has done it for just hundreds of thousands of women around the world, is belly dance. So belly dance reconnects us to our body, drops us out of our head into our body. We stop thinking about things so much. We start feeling. Our sensuality wakens up. Our passion lights up, a fire in the belly lights up, a new respect for your body exactly as it is starts developing on the physical level, not just the mental, but it starts feeding back to the mental as a truth. So this is part of the Unveil Your Beauty program, and as well videos and weekly fun, beautiful, self-caring body love practices that you get as well. It's all done in a light manner. It's not like a cathartic type course. This is all very light, very accessible for everyone. Girls can come with mum to class or with grandmum. It's a beautiful community. I run very safe spaces, emotionally safe, non-competitive, friendly, gorgeous spaces where you just feel totally held and loved and adored for exactly as you are. And it's what the dance helps you do for yourself. You really start appreciating your true beauty from the inside out. I've taught belly dance since 2003 and teacher trained and certified teachers around the world since 2007. So I have spoken to hundreds of women around the world and the effect the dance had on them and why they love teaching it. And it's universal. It's one of the, I would say, top 3 reasons they fell in love with the dance when they first started is that it made them feel beautiful, often for the first time in their lives. And the journey just continues from there. The alchemizing medicine of the dance just keeps affecting them and sort of unveiling their beauty to themselves layer by layer over the years of dancing it. So it's a proven medicine for women of every shape, size and age, girls of every age and size and shape, to claim their worthiness to be attractive and own their body and own their energy, instead of that constant illusory message that sort of pushes down on the psyche and makes one depressed and feel just unhappy with oneself. Belly dance, when it's taught with fun, the mother form, the Egyptian classical belly dance, which is the one I teach, it's fun within itself. And when it's taught with fun as well, and with a focus on body love and self-care and increasing self-worth and just a positive environment in class, it 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 brings back the cultural usages of the dance when the women folk of a family get together and just clap for each other and admire each other's beauty as they are, and of all ages the grandmum will get up and the mothers and the young ones and just really joyfully and appreciate spending time together. And we do that in class. We get a feeling of this beautiful Middle Eastern culture as a cultural enrichment as well. And just the music is so rich and passionate, and the costuming starts becoming something you can get involved in as well. And, the whole thing is just a very rich cultural experience that just, can turn into the high point of your week. So your learning process is empowered as well with a short video each week that has a fun, easy to accomplish, body love, self-care practice. So you can do that at home and empower the shift that the course will create for you as well. So the videos will encourage you through the week to do something really nice for your body, to take time out and listen to your needs and the whispers of your heart, to drop into your sensuality and feel into that, and urge you to do something that's ups your self-care for that week, and really starts making self-care a priority. We don't necessarily have to spend too much money when we do self-caring stuff. Sometimes it can cause that, and sometimes it's just free. Certainly living in the Blue Mountains, just going for a nature walk in the bush is massively nourishing for your feminine energy. And it's very calming to the nervous system. So stuff like that, and will just inspire you and give you some ideas. And the beauty of the videos is they'll just start working as well on the mental level. So the belly dance is really dropping you into your body and sensuality, and opening up any locked up areas and freeing up your energy and your feminine energy on the physical level. The videos are helping on the mental, intellectual level, and also bringing your actions in line with the new paradigm we're trying to build, which is the new truthful perspective on beauty and your own personal beauty, so that you can claim that for yourself and own it. That's when the magic starts happening. And so it's just a beautiful, holistic course, but it's fun and it's light and it's really achievable. So there's nothing in it where, it's like, oh my God, all this homework. It's not like that. So as we build your feminine energy gradually and just build it up over the weeks with the beautiful classes, the belly dancing and the joyful environment in the class, and the wonderful videos that give you just a simple home practice to do that's body care, self-love, luscious, beautiful thing to do just to get that care for yourself and love for your body really happening through your actions as well. It's just this beautiful effect where we really sink into our femininity and don't have such a contraction around our belly, and just feel our sensuality and just, give ourselves permission to just be in our skin as sensual, beautiful, feminine women. And so I hope to see you in class. Any questions, be in touch, and bye for now.